over to Lisa. She's been holding a good long time in Bismarck, North Dakota, listening to EWTN Radio on Real Presence Radio. Hi, Lisa. You're on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. I am with Debbie. I am having a hard time containing myself over this topic, and I'm so happy to be hearing this. And you guys had kind of covered some of the comments I had, specifically about, sacred music versus, secular, especially when it comes to Mass. I was wondering if your guest could comment a little bit specifically about like the use of the contemporary Christian rock as liturgical music, and some practical ways to actually implement the Gregorian chant or the sacred polyphony in the Mass. I have come up against, quite a bit of resistance when it comes to this. Usually what they say is, well, we have to cater to everybody's taste, and the rock music brings the kids in. So I was wondering if you could speak a little about real practical ways of implementing something like this.
The first thing is you have to respect the people who are there, and even if they're doing something that you don't like, you can't just come in, and I'm not saying Lisa's doing this, but just as a general approach, you can't walk into a music director's office and say, hey, why don't you do things my way?
Right.
Even though if you're trying to say, well, my way is the church's way, but people don't generally react well to that kind of pressure, and some pastors are open to chant and polyphony and others aren't. I think that what you want, I think what often works well is if people start up little chant scholas or polyphonic scholas on their own, and they approach the music director or the pastor and they say, hey, I have this little ensemble. We would like to give a concert or sing at a Vespers or sing at a Mass, and try to have a musical resource that's ready to be shared with the parish, instead of coming to the parish and saying, why don't you do X or Y? Because if you have a receptive person there, they perhaps are already doing that anyway. And if you don't have a receptive person, then asking them to change their approach may or may not be well received. But coming and saying, I've got this music that I'd love to share in the parish environment, how can I do that? Might be a good, let's say, a good political approach to how to bring this music there. There are enormous numbers of church documents that have been written about the use of polyphony, the use of chant, how sacred music, the word sacred means set apart, and how the music needs not to reflect secular experiences when you go to Mass. You don't want to go to Mass and feel like you're in an opera house or feel like you're in a jazz club or that you're at a rock concert or something like that, that the Mass needs to be this particular experience, and the church documents are very explicit about that.
Come join the conversation. Give your take Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.